Hey guys, what's up? It's Kokoloko here. Today I'm gonna be narrating a battle in a tier that you usually don't hear about and rarely see played, and that is Advanced Little Cup. Battle took place between me and my friend Jirachier, and we were literally just playing for fun. And since we're pretty much the only two people in PO who play this tier, we knew each other's teams pretty well. So a lot of the predictions that you're gonna see are based on information that we had previous to this battle. So yeah, let's get this underway. So I lead the battle with my Duskull, and he leads with his Ghastly, and since he knows I have Shadow Ball, he immediately switches out to his Houndour to take it. And sometimes I catch him with HP fighting here, but in this case he predicted my move correctly. So right here he uses Substitute in order to gain that Oran Berry. It wasn't because he was predicting a switch or anything, because he knows I can live a crunch. But with that Oran Berry, he has a very good chance of losing this HP fighting. But since my team doesn't have anything to take a crunch, I usually just stay in and HP fighting to weaken the Houndour to the point where it can't switch in again. So basically I'm just sacrificing my Duskull in order to get that basically kill. So here, after my Duskull faints to that second crunch, I just go to my Elekid because I know I outspeed and KO with a Thunderbolt. And he sends out his Chinchou, predicting my Thunderbolt. And a lot of times I catch him with an HP fighting. I'm with an HP Grass on the switch because I know he has a Chinchou, but this time I didn't want to risk it. So I just Thunderbolted. So here he uses Thunder Wave into my Execute, and I completely forgot that his Chinchou carried Ice Beam, so I just die to it. But that's okay, because I actually carry a Diglett on my team, which means that Chinchou is never going to get anything more than one kill. So I just send it in and KO it with an Earthquake, since he can't switch out due to Arena Trap. So at this point, I'm down one Pokemon, but since his Houndour is pretty much dead, it's okay. So here he sends out his Tailo, and I predict the normal move and go to my Larvitar. And here's how you know Little Cup is pretty fun. A resisted move did 60% to Larvitar. Yeah, that's definitely a choice band Tailo, by the way. But here he has to switch out because I could easily set up a Dragon Dance and have a good chance at sweeping, but he just goes to his Baltoy, which I predicted, and I used HP Ghost here. So then I switch out because I know he has HP Water, and I go to my own Baltoy to take it. Even though it's super effective, it's not going to do all that much. And I know my Baltoy beats his because mine still has the Oran Berry. So here he just sends a Houndour as Death Fodder into my Shadow Ball, and yeah, it just dies. So that he gets a free switch in into something else. Let's see what it is, I forgot. Right, he goes to his Ghastly. I know his Ghastly carries Giga Drain, so I have to switch out here. And I go to my Elekid because I know Elekid beats Ghastly 1-on-1. And he just uses Substitute on the switch, and I break it with Thunderbolt, as he just uses Psychic because that's his strongest move. And unfortunately, his Psychic does not take me into the Bataya Berry range, so I'm forced to use Substitute here to try to activate it so I can ensure the KO on his Ghastly. But yeah, he just breaks it, and I end up just KOing him with Elekid. That's kind of too bad because Elekid actually outspeeds his whole team. So had I had a Substitute up, I would have actually been able to sweep him. But, you know, he wasn't going to let that happen. So he sends out Tailo and threatens me with Quick Attack, which I know he has. So I go to Larvitar predicting that, but he predicts my switch and goes back to his Baltoy. This is something he has to do in order to avoid getting swept later, because if I get a Dragon Dance up, that Baltoy is not going to be, what's it called? Larvitar 1-on-1. So here I go to my Baltoy, knowing he's going to use HP Water, and I take it pretty nicely because my Oran Berry lets me heal back up. So I just explode because I know he's not going to go to Ghastly, and he might stay in, which would I actually expect him to stay in, but you know, getting the KO on Abra isn't bad at all. So I go back to my Elekid because I know it outspeeds his entire team, and I would like to force that Tailo into Quick Attack. But yeah, that's what happens. So now I have to go back to my Larvitar to set up on that Quick Attack. But then I decided to just use HP Ghost because I predicted his switch and I wasn't sure that a +1 HP Ghost would actually KO his ball toy. And I was right, it wouldn't have, because they would have been left with like 20% and killed me with HP Water. But then he predicts my second HP Ghost and goes back to Talo, which I thought at this point he was actually going to win the game, because here he was free to use HP Ground on me, and that would have actually 2-hit KO'd my other Pokemon, and I didn't think I was going to be able to OHKO that Taylor right here. So then here I just use the only move that hits both of his Pokemon, which is Sludge Bomb, and I thought I was going to 2-hit KO that Baltoy, and it turns out I would 2-hit KO it had I gotten 2 regular damage rolls, or that, 1 low roll and 1 high roll. So, yeah. And since now my Diglett outspeeds his Talo and OHKOs with Sludge Bomb, he's forced to use Quick Attack and hope for a crit, and he doesn't get it. And I finished the game off with a Choice Banded Sludge Bomb. So yeah, that was a pretty cool game between me and Jirachier. There was actually a lot of prediction involved because Little Cup is so offensive, especially in 3rd gen and 4th gen, that if you don't predict correctly, you're most likely going to lose. So yeah, this battle was pretty cool. And that's all. Goodbye.